Hi, this is Craig Draymond from the Re-Veg Edge in Redwood City, California. We're going to do a fire experiment today with the mowed wheatgrass straw that's still on the ground all summer after you only mow once in the late spring. Most people wait until the grasses are full grown, dry out, mow them to the ground and think that they're fire safe, but they really haven't done anything for fire safety at all. This is 6,000 pounds per acre taken from a field over in La Honda. The way you calculate that amount is you take 1 square foot of the straw, weigh it in grams, multiply that number by 100, and they'll give you pounds per acre. I have a website that talks about managing these weed grasses and cutting them monthly instead of just once a year, and lowering that amount of fire fuel in the summer quite a bit. I took 1 square foot of the straw, which is about, it fills up a regular paper garbage sack, maybe 1/4 full. So that's what we're going to test today, is what happens when you have a square foot of this mowed straw on the ground on your property. How long does it burn? How high do the flames get? How hot does it get? So we're starting at 75 degrees and going to start the fire. So we got foot tall flames, 1.5 foot tall flames, maybe getting to 2.5 feet tall now. And parameters getting 260, 280, 300. So the length of time, the height of the flames, but what's most interesting about how this mowed wheatgrass straw burns is that it smolders and the straw turns into briquettes. It's almost like straw barbecue underneath. So it's not producing flames, but it's still hot underneath it. We're going over 800 degrees within about 1 inch or 2 of what would be the ground. And we're probably going to go over 1,000, but it's also the length of time that this burns. So if you have native plants like poppies or native grasses, and you've mowed this straw and it's plopped on top of your fire-safe natives, they're going to get cooked, because we're over 1,000 degrees now, and it's like you know, putting your poor native plants in a pizza oven. So I'm kind of surprised. We're going to probably reach 1,200, and it's still red hot underneath the surface, as you can see when I move the burnt material aside. So we're at 1,100 now. Now it's starting to drop a little bit. So I'm just going to keep filming until we get to, 300 or 400, so you can see the massive length of time that this is still an issue for fire safety, and for any native plants that are trying to survive in this area. When you set an area like this on fire, the length of time and the amount of heat that they're being exposed to is way more than what they evolved in a native prairie. A native prairie has about 95% less fire fuel. A wildflower meadow and a native prairie than when these weed grasses got introduced. So we're down to 860. We're still pretty hot, and we still have red hot, I don't know what you'd call it, straw coals simmering underneath. Whoa! And there goes one of the rocks. So we're 8:30 now. Dropping below 800. So there's nothing on the surface. You don't see smoke, you don't see flames, you don't even see any red hot embers on the surface, but underneath it's still, you still have flammable coals, and if a wind came up, they could spread to other grasslands pretty easily. So we're dropping close to 600 now. Let's see what we got. So what we do to convert these weeds back to wildflower meadows is we start mowing once a month in late January, February, and keep mowing everything 8 to 12 inches high so you don't accidentally cut the natives by mistake. And then within a few years you can lower the fire fuels when you get the natives to sprout and come back, and it's permanent. Once you get a high enough percentage of the natives back, you don't have to do any fire management in the future. So that's the frosting on the cake, is not only do you get a nice beautiful meadow back, but your great-grandchildren don't have to be mowing weed grasses for fire safety. Also, if your open space areas do any mowing or plowing for fire safety, they should try this monthly mowing method instead of just once a year. We're dropping below 400 now, but you can see how long this stays hot. It's pretty amazing to me how these sort of form into straw barbecues. So I'll stop the filming at 300 just so you get a time frame for how fast this goes up and then how slow it takes to go back down. So we're at 310. Okay, so thanks for watching, and take a look at the website, and if you have these weed grasses around your property, start mowing once a month and you'll be surprised at how fast you can make your property a lot more fire safe.